Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T for May the 31st. We are starting off with level 1 and, oh baby, level 1. So, on the forums, I'm always trying to figure out ways of adding more information and making the videos better for everybody, basically. And someone said, hey, it would be nice to know the HP of the HQ. So I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's a brilliant idea. I really like that. All right, awesome. So, FYI, this HQ has 140,000 hit points. Stage 1. No, that's right. I actually said 140,000. Jesus Christ. I think it was an earthquake. Maybe not. Maybe someone just farted really loudly. Anyways, the point is 140,000 hit points. And, like, it didn't even sink in, because it's literally the very first one that I was like, okay, I'm gonna check my things and do make bit. And sure enough, wow. So, for stage 2, which is this stage, it was 38,000 hit points, and a very clear path. For stage 3, it's 67,000. Ooh, nice crystal. 67,000 piece of candy. Hit points. And the boom cannon has only like around 5,000-6,000 hit points. Nothing too incredibly scary. So many things. I'm sorry, I got really worked up about that 140,000 hit points. So anyways, flare your guys. It's pretty straightforward in these levels, which is fantastic. Just be careful of the stupid cannon. If you can blow it up with GBE, by all means, do it. And, save your tanks the scratches in their paint. I don't know. So, stage 4... that we're going to be moving on to incredibly shortly, because now I'm like, hey, look, nothing can hit me. Barrage. It has 142,000. So, stage 1 had 140,000. Stage 4 is when we get back to 140,000. This is ridiculous. I love it. It's all kinds of fun. So, I guess it's to, like, just troll the people who are like, here's my GBE, take all of these critters, ha ha ha, I take down all of the bases without even launching troops. They're just like, oh yeah, you're gonna wait here for 5.5 minutes, screw you guys, screw you buddy. Alright, moving on to stage 4, running up the right hand side. I know the left-hand side kind of looks pretty cool, but basically my thought process here is that boom cannon's gotta go anyways, and all these rocket launchers would actually still have range on you and be pecking away, plus the sniper towers would have range on stuff at the bottom and blah blah blah, so even though it may look like the tougher kind of path that we're going down, by all means, in the grand scheme of things, I feel like it's probably, hopefully, maybe easier. I don't know. Maybe not. Also, just throwing it out there, I am running a good full-on boost. So GBE, TD, and TH masterpieces are all boosted, as well as loot. But, like, you guys probably don't care quite so much about that. So, yeah, like... The big three, if you would, the trifecta, the trinity, the Triforce? The Triforce of Masterpiece. Anyways, so they're all boosted, and thank goodness, because, man, I needed it today. So, basically after crawling up that right-hand side, by the time you drop your troops up roughly where my tanks are sitting there, absolutely nothing can hit you, and you can cruise to a nice easy win with a whole bunch of barrages, which brings us to number 5. Sorry, I have something crawling on me. Getting out of bed today, there was this enormous freaking spider, and now I'm all like, I feel the spider on me, where is it? Because of course it disappeared before I could kill it. I mean, capture and gently release it into the wild for anyone who doesn't want things to die. Anyway, sorry, stage 5. 200,000 hit points on the HQ. I don't know if I already said that. I don't think I did. And that shock launcher that I just blew up had about 16,000 hit points. So I just tossed a couple of barrages, or a couple artilleries, but by all means, throw whatever you need to throw at it. One stun can, stun lock that entire block of defenses, which is fantastic. And then if you're lucky like me, you have a drunken tank driver who's just like, I'm gonna take on the cannon one-on-one! Screw the rest of you! Just because I friggin' stunned everything else doesn't mean that I want it to die. Oh wait, no, it does. Anyways, so we're going up the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, I don't know if anyone was able to actually see it, but there's a whole bunch of boom cannons, all kinds of bad things that really you just don't want to get tied up in. It's messy. Now, up here, I was kind of trying to save the GBE and not use too much of it and go too crazy. But by all means, if you need to throw down a barrage or something to take out all those mines and just kind of make your life a little bit easier, definitely do that, because there are quite a few mines and they do quite a bit of damage. Also, you could just kind of roll up and keep taking out the sniper towers before going more towards the HQ, and I'm not even going to get into that. So, also, this is where the fun stuff begins, because as you can see, I have an incredibly low tank, and this is where my fight of futility begins, because I'm like, alright, well, let's save this tank with, out screwing around too much and screwing with the base. And then I was like, oh shit, this isn't quite enough. Alright, well, let's kind of throw some GBE. And then I was like, oh shit, that's still not quite enough. Let's try to save the tank some more. And then I failed to save the tank. All of that GBE and all of that effort, completely unnecessary if, you're falling. Once you're up in this position, as long as you got 90% of your tanks, you're pretty good. You should be able to cruise into a nice easy win. That sniper tower on the left-hand side will pick away at your troops, but nothing too hairy. Nothing like this freaking level. I gotta say, this is one of the most challenging stage 6s I have seen in a while, because there's a lot of front-loaded GBE that needs to be spent. I think that's the nice way of putting this. Basically, this base doesn't give up a lot of free GBE at the beginning. There's a little bit, but not a lot. And then, it throws you right into the boom cannons, and it's constant boom cannons and shock launchers coasting right on in, which, is a little more harsh, I guess, than normal. But still a fantastic level. And even though it looks really scary and tricky at the beginning, overall, not that bad. So, also, just to get it out there, the boom cannon that was kind of out where my tanks are now had around 15,000 hit points. The one that was in closer to the HQ that I blowed up, it blowed up with around 15,000 hit points as well, so, I'm ballparking here. And the shock launcher was around 20k, so kind of where things are at there. The HQ itself, on this level, 400,000 hit points. We've kind of stepped it up from Stage 5, to say the least. Which is, makes sense. It's Stage 6, it's a step up from Stage 5. So, yeah. Basically, crawl along the very top. You can skip taking out the boom mines that are a little, I guess, to the south of the HQ. And if you crawl along the top, you can take out all the defenses and move up into the very tippity top corner, where absolutely nothing can shoot at you, including that cannon that was, actually really close to taking out that poor tank. And everybody gets to pile up on top of everyone like a great big cuddle pile. Yes, that's it. Cuddle pile. Tank orgy. I guess they got lots of lube, so what? Sorry. Anyways, it's for the tracks. You gotta keep the gears lube. Anyway, stage 6 down. Yay. Let's move on to stage 7. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is attempt number 2 at stage 7, because, I guess you could say my first attempt at stage 7 was safer. I straight up, I got up to the HQ, I had everything cleared, I was bombing away on the HQ, and I ran out of time, which does not happen that often. I thought that was pretty impressive. So this HQ has 380k hit points. These boom cannons that I'm kind of pew-pewing away at have around 17,000 hit points, and then the wall of shock launchers have 22,000 hit points each, and you'll see them. Oh baby, you'll see them. So basically what my mistake the first time around was, I left too many of these shock launchers standing, all 3 of them, which basically stun-locked my poor tanks about 99% of the time. It was a little on the brutal side, I'm not gonna lie to you. And as far as pathing goes, I had to take this path to work up the extra GBE. If you got enough GBE, by all means, friggin' don't even worry about it, but, this attack takes a lot of GBE, just because of the sheer number of defenses that you gotta kind of poke at. I did check out the left-hand side run, and it was pretty ugly too. Like I did not feel confident and or comfortable. And then because, you know, everything's starting to cost so much, obviously I had to flare all the way up to get into the happy fun times of that guy, to take out that boom cannon. Basically, I took out that boom cannon with GBE the first time, and it left an extra shock launcher, which just messed everything up. Whew. Sorry, had to take a breath. So, from here, we can basically roll up. Now, there is still another shock launcher on the left-hand side that's going to be a pain in your buttocks. But one shock launcher we can deal with. It's just when you get up to 3 that things get a little silly. Watch out for the boom mine, because the boom mines do a pretty decent amount of damage. I'm taking it out with critters because everything else is basically too expensive. And then once we take out the few remaining defenses here, which takes a little while because, of course, you know, half of our troops are constantly shocked, we will take out the rocket launcher. And basically, if you're in this position, you might as well just sit back and enjoy it. I was hoping that maybe flaring, I could get just a little bit further out of range, but it really just kind of made my tanks rearrange and do nothing. The point is, from here, with some basic healing from your medics, you should be able to slowly grind down that HQ, assuming your damage is boosted like mine is, because, yeah, it's pretty rough. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. Hopefully this has helped you out, and most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day.